Hello everybody and welcome back. I am Dash Brandon and today we're going to be doing a very specific build. We're going to be using the Deadly Blade Crash. Well, not necessarily Crash, but whatever Deadly Blade you may have. It's all the same, right? So today we're going to be doing a lifesteal build. A melee lifesteal build. I think it's going to be kind of interesting. So what we've got set up here is we've got Deadly Blade Crash. She's definitely into being a melee hero. Attacking things gives her a stacking buff called Assassination. Later on down here at Pain Mastery, Assassination gets better, dealing up to 40% bonus damage, I believe, once you get it stacked up. Then she gets Anatomy Lessons, increasing her critical rating with swords, axes, and scythes by 18. And then she gets Corrosive Blade, critical hits with her sword, do damage over time. Damage over time. That's what that stands for. We're going to be using Brawler Luna for increased critical damage, so that dot will deal more damage and we will also deal more damage. And then to round out the lifesteal, we have Sarah Claus. She's from the Christmas event. She is an alchemist. I hope eventually they bring her back if you weren't around to get her. And she uses Hardy Strikes in the tactical slot. Every fourth hit with a melee weapon restores 10 base health. When I was testing this with a different sword than the one I'm going to use, I was getting back about 5k health when I was in a 3-man party. So, what kind of weapon are we going to be using with this? We're going to be using a melee weapon, of course. We're going to be using a Krypton sword. Notice it is not maxed out, but I maxed out the things that I thought were most important right now. The life leech and the attack speed. So this life leech works on every hit, and then every fourth hit we're going to be getting back a bigger chunk of health, I believe. So we're going to see how well this works out. We're going to do some encampment missions to check it out. We're just going to pick whichever one. We'll go to Exploding Death Burst. Sounds awful. That's gonna be awful. Exploding Death Burst, or we can do Healing Death Burst. Let's do Healing Death Burst. That sounds more manageable. I'm doing this in a private party because when I've been trying to show off some builds that are very specific and they require your enemies to live a little bit longer than typically, all my teammates would kill them. So that's the long and short of that one. So the whole point here is to do as fast of damage as we can so we can stay alive. That's why we have the attack speed on the sword. We could be using a faster sword, but then it wouldn't necessarily hit as hard. We have energy on the sword just because that's what the Krypton sword comes with. As you move into Twine, you start to see a lot of elementals, and people say that for physical to pull ahead, less than like 50% of your enemies need to be elementals for it to pull ahead. So this is what our swing speed looks like with the increased swing speed, and we can pull up our other one that does not have the increased swing speed. We can compare them. That feels quite a bit faster. I'm just holding down left click. Yeah, so that feels like it's going to be a pretty big difference. We'll go ahead and throw this weapon down here, but we're mostly going to be using our sword. So ideally, we'll be attacking stuff and healing back as much as we can. So to do this, I should probably wake these guys up. We can get a baseline of how much we can heal. We'll go ahead and get blown up by this. Oh, we'll get blown up. Oh! Okay, so apparently you should try to not die. That would be a good start. We're going to go ahead and cut this footage right here. Alright, we are back alive. We're in the same spot. We are going to try and not get double propane one-shot over here. Man, they hit pretty hard. She does not have a high shield right now. I'm going to take a couple more hits. Oh, there's some bees. We can go stand in some bees while we do some attacks. Alright, so 2.4%. I don't know if that's base 2.4 or what, but I don't know, we heal back okay. I mean, you're not going to live through through Exploding Death Burst during this, but I mean, could be worse. It's at So we'll let ourselves heal up here. And we'll see how much of that 2.4%. So we're at 40k. That is not very much. It would take you a while to heal up to full. You'd have to be fighting a smasher. So we're going to see how this will do in an encampment.
This encampment is not active.
I just have to find it. That is not as good as I actually thought it would be. So like, I expected 2.4% to be 2.4% of your base HP. 2.4% of my base HP is not 500 health per swing. So basically you would have to play in such a defensive way that you're not taking any damage when you get low health so that you have the time to heal up. This is not the outcome I really expected with this. I'll be completely honest. So once again, even though they've increased melee damage, they need to increase your base healing somehow when you're in melee, or give you a higher damage resist. The damage resist of being in shadow stance helps a lot, but this particular hero does not get to benefit from shadow stance. She doesn't have shadow stance. She can still use abilities, so she's got that going for her. But as far as her survivability goes, I'm rolling with full healing build, and I still find it difficult to stay healthy. So when you do get that 4th hit, that big 5k chunk is nice. Maybe they should just make that a baseline thing. Maybe that would help. 5k, well, even then, like, I've still managed to die a lot before doing this. So maybe that won't with the magic bullet. I don't know what they can do to fix it. They need to either make your healing more, your lifesteal more, or they need to make you more resilient to damage. I'm rolling around with 70k shields right now and 133,000 health. I think all the heroes I'm using are 4-stars, so that could be part of that. And I'm also solo.
15 minutes to complete the mission.
But I gotta say, it feels kind of bad. Feels kind of bad. The crescent kick feels good, but she also doesn't even have any buffs to her crescent kick. We have a smasher that we can use to heal up if we can manage to not die during this. Oh, that was a big hit from the smasher. See if we can heal up some of that health. The swing speed is definitely helping though. I'm liking that on this weapon. So you just kind of swing around, doing your thing, and eventually you heal up, as long as you're not taking a lot of damage. Actually, you might be able to out heal some of this damage that you're taking here. Now that I think about it, I wonder if 5k is even the right number for that heal. Someone would have to look while I'm doing this. Alright, and then when you get into a lot of trouble, you can always use your adrenaline rush. But if you jump around too much, since you're not in shadow stance, you don't get cheaper double jumps. You run out of energy, you can't crescent kick. Which helps to stun them so you can heal off of them. I don't know. I think melee still needs some work. They were talking about it needing work still, and giving it some more work still. So that's always good. The sooner that they can work on that, the more well-rounded the game in general can get. Because now you're either going full ability, or you're going full shooting, and there's really not much room in there for melee. I've done a couple of other melee builds. There's really not that much room in there for melees, typically. Seem to have lost some fatties. We took 11k hits there, so they're hitting us for 11k every hit, and we're only able to heal for about 5k.
Let's find the next one.
So that means you can't just sit there and tank them the entire time. That's definitely not the point of this lifesteal build, apparently. Maybe if I was a bit more resilient, you could tank everything and heal through it. But this is the only lifesteal build that I could really come up for the game at this point. And I really like lifesteal builds. I really like ability builds. I did that type of stuff in the Division, back when Division was a thing. I would do ability builds, and they were really fun. They were satisfying. It was satisfying to one-shot things. And I'm sure it would be equally satisfying to be able to tank through a lot of this stuff. And for some comparison, we can throw on our other sword. So, because this is a Shadow Shard sword. This is a Sunbeam sword. So it's going to swing slower, but it's going to hit harder. And it's got, in her hands, it basically has max crit, right? That's 98%. Versus 47.5 on our other hero, or on our other sword. So she's basically always going to crit with this, but that was a different build that I was going to go over. I don't think that that really affects our lifesteal from hardy strikes that much, to be completely honest. When they start to surround you, when you want to do your pressing kick, she does have a dot on her ninja stars, so when she throws those out, she gets to dot them up as well. You did not see it there because he managed to die. Hello. You didn't see it there either. Because I'm really terrible at showing things off. We're going to let them get around us, and we're going to press and kick them and heal off of them, ideally. Did not get them all. Crescent kick, I feel, needs a bigger arc, bigger area of effect. Because if you're hitting a smasher with it, you're really only going to hit one smasher. You're not going to hit anything else around him. So we're doing 55k crits. Not too shabby. Oh, that kind of hurt. See if we can get some healing off of her. There we go. Got a little bit. Then we accidentally hit right click. I wish there was a way to cancel that. Hey, we got some sunbeam. That feels nice. There's something here. There we go. Goodbye. Other stuff is below ground there. We don't need to worry too much about that. Alright, so as we start to move into encampments 4 and 5, there will be more enemies. We see them, the beam in the sky over here. And I think that this could be a viable build if you're willing to take it slow and a little bit more deliberate. As long as you're able to stay mobile. That's another issue with her, is she's not able to stay as mobile as some of the other ninjas that can enter shadow stance, because they get some increased movement if you use the mythic outlander with them. Also notice that I've not yet dropped a drone. So the dropping of the drone, or not dropping of it rather, is kind of deliberate, because I want to show off the life-stealing potential. This isn't a video about killing encampment. So this is a video about chasing a lady that does not want to be caught, apparently. We have quite a few heading into us now. We do have Dragon Slash available. Let's go and do a little bit more healing. We're going to suck up some of our energy here. These ladies always make me angry. I don't like having areas where I can't walk lady. Just like bees. Bees do the same thing to me. Alright. So apparently she still has enough ability power with a bunch of 4 stars and no shuriken mastery. Still one-shot normal, regular husks. Oddly enough, abilities also suffer. Oh, look at that. The dot from the ninja star killed it. So oddly enough, abilities still suffer from the same issues against elemental husks as weapons do, which to me just feels strange. I don't feel like ability should necessarily operate that way. But I am not a game designer, I'm just a game player. I was really hoping that I could do a Dragon Slash here. There we go. We need 50 energy because we're not on a Dragon Slash specializing hero. We can jump for 20 energy though. And we can finish off healing up. And then get a propane thrown at us, probably. And get smacked by some of these guys and take some damage. Oh, there we go. There's that propane hit. Alright. So we're doing 55k crits once we snare them. That's because the weapon benefits from snaring enemies. So I don't think this build is terrible. I do think that this is the best lifesteal with a melee weapon that you can come up with. you want lifesteal on a ranged weapon, you'd have to use a survivalist hero, or you would have to use Master Grenadier Ramirez in the tactical slot, I believe. Hello, lots of bees. I don't think you can even tank bees like this. Nah, they just take too much damage. Oh, I'm gonna die. Yeah, I really died there. I missed my 6. That's okay. We're on the 5th encampment, so we can go ahead and pop up right here, and everything will be a-okay. The joys of soloing things. This could be a pretty viable way if you were to farm mist monsters from encampments, I suppose. Alright, we might have reached the point where we need to drop the drone. We're going to go ahead and do that. Just so that we can put out the damage that we need. We're able to lifesteal, but this whole platform is full of freaking bees. So that's a problem. It's a problem when we can't get next to anything to steal its life. Steal health from it. That's when we start to have a lot of problems. So exploding death burst is probably a really good choice of not taking that. Hello, bee man. Alright, trying to stay in a healthy spot on this platform. They should really fix this spawn in. At some point they broke it. And it's not destroying everything on the platform, therefore there's limited space for it to spawn things in when you're on a platform such as this. Alright, we're going to try a super. We are going to heal ourselves up to full health to do it though. We have 5 minutes and no lives to do it. Do I think that it will be good? No. Do I think it'll be easy? No. Do I think we can do it? Maybe. We got a drone up. That's a good start. And she throws 2 ninja stars at the end. So we're going to go ahead and pop that drone up there nice and high. Do I think that you can live through all of this? Also a no. As everything goes to hell. Oh yeah. Yep, she does not have the clear that she needs. So I did pop a crescent kick somewhere in there, and you can crescent kick in the air, which is always nice. But yeah, that's probably not going to happen on this hero. I have soloed missions of this high of a power level with healing death burst on a Dragon Scorch Ninja solo. But as melee lifesteal build, I just don't see it happening. Especially with no life and now no drones for another 20 seconds. We'll see though. We'll see if we can't putz around a couple more times. There, take that. You deserve that damage. I don't know why. It was really just to kill time to get our drone back up. I'm sure that wasn't really fooling anyone. We're gonna go ahead and build a box here for ourselves to jump into when we need to. Oh cool, this time we have takers. Getting stuck on walls. Yep, that's not gonna happen. I can keep trying, but I don't think it's gonna be successful. Without other players in the party, it makes this quite difficult to do. Because your health pool is so much smaller, your shields are so much smaller, and all the enemies are only focused on you. So I think that we can pretty much wrap this video up here. Once again, go over the squad. We're using the Deadly Blade Crash. She's not an ability ninja, but she does have abilities. They seem to be okay for what you do. Unfortunately, you cannot enter Shadow Stance. We're using Brawler Luna for the Keen Edge. That gives us extra critical damage for more healing. And then we have Sarah Claus, who gives us passive healing on every 4th melee hit. The weapon we are using is a Krypton sword with legendary attack speed, legendary life leech, some critical rating so we can try and get some of that critical damage going. Energy, 10% damage. Right now it appears that we are at 59% critical hit chance, and we can do 120% critical hit damage. According to the stats, we have a 0.81 swing speed, which, again, this is that weapon, and this is a weapon without the swing speed. That's definitely noticeable. 1, 2. I wonder if that affects heavy attacks. Don't think it does. Can't really tell. I don't think it does. And now we're out of energy, so we can't double check. All those heavies. I think the build is pretty good. We need some resilience. In a party, it'd probably be fine. But also in a party, I regularly die a lot. Hello. Go ahead and do one of those. We got some of these boys coming through. Why is our FPS taking such a huge hit? You end up having to do some, like, guerrilla tactics over here. You kill some shit, you run. You kill some shit, you run. You do some healing as you kill some shit, you run. You use some abilities, you run. That seems to be the basic beats that I'm going for here. I should heal here as I'm almost dead. It's a fun playstyle. It's definitely a risky playstyle. Could be viable in a group. In solo play, not as much. Still fun though. I wonder how it would do defending like a Cat 1 by itself. In a lower level area, it would probably do okay because they only spawn from one direction. You can kill things relatively quickly in the early game with melee. We're in a, what was it, a 94, I want to say? Where did all of our enemies go? Oh, we're spawning new ones now. That's super. And we have our handy dandy drone again. We killed everything underneath us, which is nice.
Here it comes.
Gonna circle around. We're not gonna be able to finish this encampment, but that's okay. This is more to show off the lifesteal potential. Would have been nice to finish on this monster though. Reaper is always great. Okay, then. We're gonna just hide from that for a moment. And we're gonna come over and hit these things. Hit these things. Kick him in the face. We're going to avoid that. And we're gonna heal off of him, even though it's the end, just to show a little bit of the healing. And there we go. That is the best lifesteal build that I could come up with. It's alright. Not bad. Lifesteal melee build. I was able to do 5 encampments. I died on one of them because I was terrible and got stuck in the bees. Had I had more time and had I been more patient, I probably could have finished that 6th encampment. But as far as doing them all, it was probably out of the cards in a PL94 mission. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. We're gonna go ahead and get my crappy level 2 chest reward, where we get 7k hero XP. Oh man, that feels kind of bad. Oh well. Thank you all for watching. I'm Dash Brandon. Like and subscribe if you would like to see more of this. I've been doing a lot of different hero builds lately, and I'm leveling up a lot of different weapons and a lot of different heroes to achieve that. So I hope that you enjoy it. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.